What just happened? The music stopped. What happened to the music? It just died. Oh wait, no, I see. All right, now we're good. It's a Rick and Morty short. Okay, really? All right, I'll accept it. Awesome, good shirt. Thank you, my dear aunt. Very good Christmas. All right, guys. Yeah. Let's continue on. You guys want to watch some iceberg, so I guess we'll just go back to the video that we were on before, and then we'll continue from there. Partner, if you're in the stream right now, please just come back. I'll let you know. So, how's everybody's day today? You guys have fun? You guys do anything today? Good, you? I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. I just worked today, honestly. I'll be working tomorrow as well, even if it's gonna be raining 100%. But still, it was it for me. My family has too much drama. You know, the Christmas spirit wasn't there. What? Okay, I'm kidding. I get you though. All right. Shall we begin? I need to find a video first. I think it's right here. So let's just stop this right here. Get that going. And then general, we are around like right here. Yeah, somewhere like around right here. Yeah, right here. Okay. Let's do this.
Supposed ghost is just a cardboard cutout of the actor Ted Danson who was in the movie. The cutout was to be used in a deleted scene which would explain why it was there, but obviously this was unknown to the audience. The story about the mother and the boy is obviously not true in any way. In fact, they didn't even film it in a house. This was all filmed on a soundstage and there's no possible way it could be true. The story itself is still pretty disturbing if you don't think about it. And I remember hearing about it as a kid and it freaking me out. So I totally understand why you guys suggested it. Hambuster. Hambuster is a short animated film by Sup and Fucom team. The video starts with a fat guy sitting down in the park.
Oh yeah, this is a weird one. Guys just kill people.
To the baby from the start. Seems good to the fast foods. How this scare kid on this iceberg. Scary Gummy Bear. Alright, so this is the first bit of lost media on this iceberg. Scary Gummy Bear was a screamer video on YouTube that showed the original Gummy Bear video until he goes into the car, and then it switches to the Kafey Coffee zombie jump scare video. The original is completely lost, on YouTube at least. We know that the thumbnail was orange text on a black background and was clearly made in Movie Maker. If you remember this video, if you have any information on it, do not hesitate to comment about it. Or I guess alternatively, in a more secure way of me actually seeing the video, you could put it on my Discord server. And the link is in the description. So the scary gummy bear video is one of mystery, and I really hope we end up finding it somehow. I can't really get the Wayback Machine to work too well with YouTube, but that might be a way to find the video, or at least the thumbnail. The video is most likely uploaded around 2011, and it was viewable in 2012. I hope
We watched this far?
helps, and so the search begins. D Fantasy.
Oh yeah.
To her it's weird and
What do we have? Yeah.
some United States and so this entry is referring to a very specific thing requested by a viewer. I can't find the original comment, so this is mostly from memory, but I think I have the gist of it down. In both the United States and Mexico, there were a lot of bootleg DVDs back in the 2000s. These bootleg DVDs were often of very low quality.
Or
when it
monkey.
came to new movies, they would usually be crappy camcorder recordings from a movie theater, which had a bit of a creepy aura to them, but that's not what this entry is talking about. Sometimes the vendors would give you a DVD with the case of the movie being what you bought, but instead you would actually put in your DVD player and you'd get something completely different. Sometimes they would be horror movies or strange Mexican shows or something along those lines. Imagine being a kid
Fire
in
Musty.
2008. Your dad brings back
Was
a
good.
DVD of
Fire
Raw,
monkey.
which you've been wanting to
Monkey.
see. You pop the DVD
Fire
into
Musty.
your DVD player and you see a very disturbing horror movie. Maybe it's a zombie-related thing or even a classic like Friday the 13th. The quality is bad and grainy, the sounds are tinny, and the Spanish subtitles flash on screen faster than you can read. That's a pretty scary situation, right?
True.
Well, that actually happened to a lot of kids, and left a mark on them. This is the next step in analog horror, which if you don't know is a genre
Why
that
cow?
utilizes old technology for its horror, like VHS tapes and that kind of thing. In my opinion, and many others, the future of analog horror will be from old YouTube videos
What
and
is
DVDs.
this?
We see some examples of this already.
What is
but I
this?
think it's gonna take off in the future. Like 240p horror is gonna be what it's gonna be essentially. I think
What the
these
fuck
bootleg
is that?
DVDs are
What am I
a
looking
great
at?
Example as to why. Cartoon Rule 34. Alright, let's make this one quick. This entry is referring to Rule 34 art of innocent cartoon characters. Rule 34 being the 34th rule of the internet. Quote, if it exists, there's no one of it, unquote. There, unfortunately, is a lot of art of this genre of cartoon characters that could be easily accessed by
Let's
kids
go.
just by a simple Google Images search. Nasty stuff.
No.
Japanese Furby commercial. So there's a YouTube video by the name of Creepy Japanese Furby Commercial that looks totally normal at first. Just to give some context, back in the year 2012, the Furby line of animatronic pet toys was brought back from
Yeah, I remember
the
that.
modern fashion, and they were extremely popular. And they were beloved by kids at the time. This YouTube video, claiming to show a Japanese
I don't know.
commercial, was pretty intriguing to kids, since it had a great thumbnail, and just the concept of a foreign commercial for something that you like is pretty interesting. The video itself started off pretty innocent, showing some Furbies while some Vocaloid music plays in the background. Very quickly it takes a turn for the worse when some Illuminati imagery is seen implying that the Furbies are in some way satanic. That is very, very quickly confirmed when a disturbing montage displaying crazy-ass cult imagery is shown and the Furby getting progressively
What
more
the
and more invested.
fuck?
Getting burned alive.
Why?
A snake on it, having a cow skull on
Why?
its head, and then it goes back to normal. So I think this is pretty obvious as to why it's on the list. The fact that this was indirectly marketed directly at kids is really the fault of the YouTube algorithm, but still, it reached a lot of children. In hindsight, it's a very well done video that really perfectly captures all the horrific satanic shit that it features. To be clear, it's not a real commercial, it's fake. Ash beats up Pikachu for stealing his
Yeah.
hat. This is an animated parody of Pokemon, where Ash and Pikachu are playing until Pikachu steals his hat, and Ash proceeds to curse him out and run after him. The curses are bleeped, but still. After eventually catching Pikachu, Ash proceeds to beat him up. We see this from Pikachu's perspective while his blood sprays on the screen. We then see what happens days later, with Ash at a Pokemon competition. He tries to get Pikachu out of the ball, and what comes out is just a yellow goop. This animation is just unnecessarily violent and mean-spirited, and I'm glad I never watched it back in the day. It's messed up. Peanut butter
weird.
recall. In 2007, there was a contamination of Peter Pan and Great Value peanut butter with salmonella, killing some people who ate it and putting others in the hospital. Jim Adler, a workplace injury-related law firm, put out a commercial telling people to contact them if they had a jar of this peanut butter. Here's the video.
If you are one of the many who suffered from food poisoning because of contaminated peanut butter, you may be entitled to a cash award.
If you were hospitalized or if someone you know died from contaminated peanut butter, call attorney Jim Adler right now.
If this
Oh,
has
shit.
happened to you, keep the jar. If you've been hospitalized, you may be entitled to a cash award.
What the
Some
fuck?
Peter Pan and Great Value peanut butter has been recalled. Keep the jar and call attorney Jim Adler now at 713-777-4000.
That's
I'm
weird.
not sure exactly why, but this video has
I was
just such
fucked.
an unsettling aura to it. The creepy
People
music
die
in
in
the
that
background,
then.
the voices, the idea that people were killed by eating such a common food as peanut butter, all of it. It just kind of reminds me of that Omega Mart lemon commercial. This peanut butter ad recall really reminds me of something that I would see while watching Nickelodeon late at night at my grandma's house with all the lights off. To this day, it's still very unnerving. Lost Tapes. Lost Tapes is a TV show that aired on Animal Planet in 2008. The program was a mockumentary-style show about people finding a bunch of fictional creatures, like cryptids and stuff.
Ugh.
The show was often really scary because the creatures were violent and either killed or attacked the people in the show. The fact that the show presented itself as if it was real, and also the fact that it aired on Animal Planet, which is a non-fiction channel, really made it terrifying to those who didn't know it was fake, and even to those who did, it was still, intense stuff. The show lives on in many people's memories, and I'm glad I got to add it back into this video. Booth World. Booth World Industries is a pretty interesting and interactive creepypasta. The story is about a man who gets a call from a random number saying,
Welcome to Booth World Industries. My name is Samantha, and I will be your operator today. Name?
The author gives a fake name to the woman on the phone, and she explains that the fake name cannot be used. He then decides to give her the name of his ex-girlfriend.
Remodeling is scheduled for August 21st, 2015.
At 3 o'clock that day, he got a call from a number and heard his ex-girlfriend being murdered on the line. The author is surprised by this, but is happy about it because of the resentment he had against her. Yeah, he's pretty messed up. The guy even schedules another remodeling. While trying to schedule this,
Call the
he's
number?
told that he's gonna get remodeled that Wednesday. The only way
Yeah,
he can
right.
stop the remodeling is to recruit over 1,000 people to Booth World Industries. The author of the story then invites everyone reading to join Booth World. All that you have to do is call the number. Obviously, it's fake, but it's pretty unnerving. I'm sure a lot of kids called this number just out of sheer curiosity, and something that's cool is that sometimes the creator of the story would actually call the people who called Booth World again, and they would chat about it, which is it's pretty cool. Still a pretty graphic story, which is why kids were scared by it. Alien on Roof. Alright, this one really feels like it would be in a top 15 video, so I'm gonna narrate it like that. Number 129, Alien on Roof. This entry is referring to a video of a large alien on a man's roof. The alien is big and scary and looks very real. The alien looks real, like it's real life, and it scared me beyond belief. The sound the alien makes kinda sounds like a cute little mouse, but the alien is nothing but. People say that it is CGI, but I really think it's real. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Frickin' Star Wars.
Is love. Alright, I gotta be kind of careful with this one. But,
This one.
So Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life is a copypasta from 4chan about a boy summoning Shrek and getting violated by him. The copypasta picked up a lot of steam and eventually got an animated adaptation, which is what the most popular version of the story is. I remember watching this video when I was a little kid, and I had absolutely no idea what was going on. Like, at all. No idea. I never found the video disturbing for this reason, but after rewatching it, yeah, this shit's not okay. Tromaville movies. This one is pretty self-explanatory. Tromaville movies are super violent and gruesome. Even their most popular movie, The Toxic Avenger, features extremely violent and disturbing scenes, some even being towards children. The contents of these films are genuinely traumatizing if watched by a child. ELH. ELH is an unused beta boss from the original Luigi's Mansion. Not
True.
much is known about it since
I
clearly
watched
it
it
was
too.
scrapped pretty early on. All that remains of ELH are a few animations and some elemental abilities. There's something
I watched it for the Fine Brothers, the reactions. That's how I knew about it.
so creepy about this idle animation. It just stands there, swinging back and forth slowly. As a kid, I was fascinated with the mystery of the beta of Luigi's Mansion, and this was always one of the things that freaked me out the most about it. It's genuinely so unnerving, and the fact that it was unfinished adds so much to it. I feel like if this was fully animated and textured, it wouldn't be as creepy. But in the state it's in, it really is creepy. Evil Stick. The Evil Stick is a toy that appeared in certain dollar stores that was far more sinister than it seemed. The package of the toy was innocent enough, featuring a stolen anime character and promising wonderful music. What you get is this.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah,
That's
isn't
messed
that
up.
wonderful? If you remove the foil, you can clearly see a Photoshop picture of a girl slitting a wrist.
Ugh.
Yeah. This toy was bought by a mother for her 2-year-old. Obviously, she didn't see the picture before she bought the toy, since you have to pull a battery tab to actually activate the lights and sounds, which most people wouldn't do in the store. She went to the news about it, and that popularized the strange toy. Turns out this image is a gore art piece portraying a vampire preparing to drink her own blood. The creator of this image never gave permission for his art to be on this toy, and he never intended for children to ever see it. The image on the toy is edited further, which is bizarre. Something that's also very weird about it is that it's not the only
It's like a
picture on
troll.
the toy. There were a bunch of other pictures on the toys, some of which were completely innocent and some of which were disturbing. There were pictures of anime characters and zombies, angels and monsters. I've gotta
Damn,
ask the
that's
one
messed up.
big question about this all.
What were they thinking?
Well, turns out
So,
the
I don't
toy
know.
was mass manufactured by a random factory in China. Obviously. The toy is extremely rare, so if you've got one, then you're really, really lucky. In total, this toy and the buzz around it was totally scary to kids at the time, and I'm glad you guys suggested it.
I don't know.
T is for Toilet. T is for Toilet is a stop-motion animation video by Lee Hardcastle, who was featured earlier. The video features a kid using the toilet without a kiddie seat for the first time. And
Ugh.
wait, that's the little shit from Hamster Hell! Anyway, he's scared to use the toilet, but his parents encourage him, since there isn't anything to worry about, to them at least. The toilet then shoots out a bunch of green shit, and short after this, a bunch of other stuff in the bathroom starts to leak it.
Clean
The toilet
it.
then grows eyes and heavily resembles that Ghostbusters toy from the 1980s. The toilet very gruesomely kills and eats the parents, while the little shit from Hamster Hell just watches. Turns out, it was all just a dream. The kid gets up to use the toilet, but gets stuck in it. The dad runs in, sees his son stuck, and starts laughing. The sink then falls off the wall, and the kid passes away, to say the least. Need I say anything else? The Wyoming Incident. The Wyoming Incident is an urban legend from 2006 about a television station in Wyoming being hacked as a mysterious video plays with some creepy faces and distorted audio. The hijacking lasted for over 6 minutes before the broadcast resumed back to normal. That same night, hundreds of people went to local hospitals with symptoms of headaches,
The big forehead.
hallucinations, reasonless fear, etc. This was either caused by the infrasound contained in the video, the imagery, or both. The Wyoming Incident is actually an ARG, and it's one of, if not the oldest ARG in internet history. It goes pretty deep, but I don't have the time to explain the whole thing. Dancing Frog Legs. This entry is referring to a video by the name of Frog Legs Dancing with a Little Salt. The video shows exactly that, some fresh-cut frog legs sitting on a plate. When a little
Fresh?
salt is added, boom, they start moving.
Ugh.
The video is incredibly weird, and the way that the legs move is pretty unnerving and unnatural, and lands itself in the
How does that
uncanny.
happen?
Now, what the hell is happening? Are these zombies? Should you be scared? Well, no, they aren't zombies. Since they are freshly cut, the cells in the legs are still alive, meaning that when salt is spread on it, it increases the electrical conductivity, releasing some electrical potential, which is how nerves and cells send signals to each other. Signals are being sent, causing the muscles to twitch. Even with this explanation, it's still a very unnerving video that doesn't really leave your mind. There are a bunch of other videos
So if you
of food
put
that is,
salt on the frog-
well, let's just say freshly killed, still moving, and they're honestly really disturbing.
Yeah.
Shed 17. Shed 17
Why would you
is
do
a
that?
disturbing horror parody of Thomas the Tank Engine. It's essentially an explanation as to how Thomas came to be. It's framed as if it's a documentary in this universe. In it, you learn about a boy named Thomas who was killed by a train. In an attempt to bring the boy back to life, two characters try and combine the DNA of Thomas with the train. They try and do this multiple times and fail each one until the perfect one is made. Later, there are people trying to imitate this sensation, but all the imitations led to the
Hola.
death of the host.
How you doing this?
Eventually, Thomas visits Shed 17, the place where he was created.
What
Here to
the
find
fuck?
a bunch of failed attempts to create him, essentially. He realizes that he's just a clone, and he loses it, causing his skeleton to pop out, leading him to die. The imagery in this
Oh, this is the bottom of the ice. Gen Z childhood trauma. Lost entries. Full series.
video is genuinely disturbing. I feel really sorry for the kids who watch this video, especially considering the fact that many of them watched the show when they were young,
What the
or in some
fuck?
situations were still fans of it.
That's just weird.
So, the Zone Archive is a page on Newgrounds which features Rule 34 parodies of popular kids shows. Most notably, My Life as a Teenage Robot. In the case of this animation, it's just really messed up. I mean, the character gets and she's a teenager, programmed to be a teenager at least. In reality, she's like 4 years old, which makes it even more messed up. Zone Sama is the person behind it all.
Gmod?
He has ties to people like Shadman, which is beyond messed up. Some of you younger ones out there probably recognize this character, Zone Tan. She appears in the background of a level in Friday Night Funkin'.
Yeah.
The reason that this is on the iceberg is because, unfortunately, kids found these Rule 34 cartoons and were traumatized by the, Angrier the Birds. Angrier the Birds is a claymation animation about a self-insert character guy being upset that Angry Birds is popular and his claymation variety show isn't. He decides to buy a gun because he's upset and gets one for free from Mr. King Hippo. He then decides to go back to where the Angry Birds are and mercilessly blast them all to bloody bits.
Fucking Punisher right
The
here.
animation on this is incredibly good, like movie quality, and so is the gore. It's just sad to watch these birds and pigs get brutally torn apart for no reason. The carnage lasts for nearly 3 minutes and just gets more and more gruesome. Eventually, Mr. T joins the guy while carrying a bazooka. And then Miley Cyrus and the Annoying Orange show up, and then you can guess what happens to them. At the end, Mr. T shoots the camera, and we see text saying, "Pretty hardcore, right? Gun violence is for fiction and not for reality." And then the video ends. Yeah, it's pretty sadistic. I know if I saw this as a kid, I'd be beyond disturbed and upset. Sitting at only around 30,000 views, so I'd be surprised
Miley
if any of you
Cyrus.
guys remember this. Kill the Powerpuff Girls. This is an incredibly messed up and brutal Newgrounds game where you, kill the Powerpuff Girls for no apparent reason. It's upsetting and violent and awful, and I really don't want to bring much attention to it. I'm not going to show any of the footage since it's beyond messed up, and I feel terrible for any kids who had the misfortune of watching this video or playing the game.
Yikes. Thank you.
Bananas exploding on face. This entry is referring to an incredibly strange video of a man with a mask on.
But he just like
Attached to said mask, there are a bunch of
lights
bananas
them.
that have explosives inside them. The guy lights the fuses for the explosives and, the bananas explode. The descriptions of this video says, quote, "A Brooklyn-based artist, William Lanson, put on a mask embedded with firecracker-stuffed bananas and filmed himself lighting each fuse, causing the bananas to explode." What's the meaning? Slant Art says, "The banana is a classic agent for slapstick pratfall and has also come to represent pitfalls of corporate farming practices. I say bananas are evil and must be destroyed." What is it with Brooklyn art people? Always so weird.
Potassium.
And you see them like every 6 blocks or so. It's a lot. Brooklyn's a weird place. The video is strange and unnerving, and that's exactly why it's here.
I'm from Brooklyn.
Blankroomsoup.avi is an
Oh,
incredibly
yeah.
weird video that is allegedly from the dark web, portraying a man sitting at a table eating what looks to be a bowl of soup. From behind him, a creepy mascot character approaches and seemingly starts to comfort the man as he gets more and more uneasy. Another one of these characters enters the room, and the man eating the soup starts crying. So what gives? What's the point of this video? What is it? Well, these characters are known as Ray Ray. They're from a touring show by an artist named Raymond Percy. Allegedly, these character mascots were stolen from him while he was touring, and then he was later sent this video alongside some other disturbing ones.
The fuck?
So, who made this, and why? Well, honestly, I kind of think it was Raymond Piercy, to be completely honest, because, after they were stolen, he still had 2 more extra suits that he just happened to have that he could keep working with. As far as we know, he didn't get the police involved, which you'd think if you had your property stolen, and then a video using your stolen property showing allegedly, torture.
That's just creepy.
You'd contact the police about it.
Like, why is he
something
crying?
at least. I don't know.
He's
It
eating
really just
freaking
feels more
noodles
like
or
a
something.
publicity stunt from him more than anything, which
Freaking
is
soup
not
on it
really
though.
a bad thing because it's a really creepy video and it's
To do this?
a very
To this.
iconic thing in internet culture. Look, I could be completely wrong. This could be a real
Easy
video
clap.
of a man actually
Easy.
getting tortured by these characters, but something about it just doesn't really feel like that's the case. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. r/5050.
Why is he running?
r/5050 is a subreddit dedicated to showing you either something horrid and disgusting or something cute and pleasant.
I hate
what you
this.
see depends on your luck, since your chance is 50/50.
Fucking hate it.
You could see a cute puppy on one side, or you could see something disgusting, like, I don't know, someone stepping on a nail. Like Run the Gauntlet, which was in the original Iceberg series, I'm going to heavily encourage you not to use this subreddit. There's some really, really disgusting and scarring, traumatizing imagery on this subreddit, and it's messed up. You don't
fucked.
want
I
to see
seen
it. The subreddit has
Rosina
been visited
Rat.
by many
It's fuck-
popular YouTubers and streamers, leading to their young audiences wanting to try it for themselves, which obviously led to awful trauma from the terrible imagery on the subreddit.
Run the gauntlet? Yeah, I'll do that too. 50-50 is just like disturbing. Oh, we're done.
We've all gone through a trip, a traumatizing road. I've grabbed you by the wrist, directed where to go. We made the best of this test and now we cry. It's not a question but an answer learned.
That's cool. Alright. Interesting. That was fun to watch. Come song. What's the channel called? This is the channel right here. Raymundo 2012. Pretty good. I watched the majority of these actually. No problem. So yeah, we get things we want to do. Any games I have in mind? Maybe some more videos. We're just relaxing on a nice Christmas Eve. I don't know if you guys want to go to sleep anytime soon, just so that Santa won't have a hard time making us go to sleep. So you can put presents. Imagine.
It's proven itself to be a very useful tool as it's found its way into many people's lives. It's changed the way we approach and look at geography and navigation. This is the Google Maps iceberg. It outlines the many different weird anomalies that can be found on Google Maps. You already know how these iceberg charts work. Let's get into it. Black spots. So it is not uncommon for Google to just black out or blur out things on Google Maps that they don't want you to see. A lot of the time, of course, this is just done for privacy reasons. And so, for example, do you recognize this house? No, seriously, does this house feel familiar to you? Because if it does, there's a good reason why. This is Gumball Watterson's house from The Amazing World of Gumball. You can literally just find the house that they use for the show on Google Maps. This house used to not be blurred out, but it's blurred out now, probably to protect the privacy of the current homeowners. And so, like,
Wow.
well, you know, that makes sense. On the other hand, here's an island north of the South China Sea that just has both sides of it blacked out. Not really sure what's going on here. I believe this island is known as Monbu Onsha. According to this article from 2013 I found on the Wayback Machine, China put a scientific research base on this island to do aquaculture research. So there is some sort of Chinese settlement on this island. Whether or not you really believe China set up this base to do aquaculture research is up to you. I mean, this is the Chinese government. They're not usually the most truthful about what they do. This island is in an area of the South China Sea known as the Macclesfield Bank, and there's always been a dispute over whether China or Taiwan controls this area. So it kind of seems like China probably put up this research base more as a way to just get a foothold in
sure.
this area. And so it all gets us to this point where there are a number of different reasons this island could have blacked out spots on it. Maybe there's some sort of Chinese base on this island that Google wants to black out for some reason. Maybe Google is unsure as to whether this island belongs to China or Taiwan, so they just black it out to avoid a conflict or something. And also, I guess it could just be some sort of mapping glitch. I kind of doubt it because these black spots have been on this island for quite a while now, and if it really was a glitch, Google probably would have fixed it at this point. Another example of something being mysteriously censored out on Google Maps can be seen in this Russian town called Button. For a while, some of the houses in this town were scribbled out with some sort of white marking. This white scribbling is gone now, but that's weird. I mean, those scribbles were definitely put there on purpose, so make of that what you will. And of course, it's not uncommon for military bases or government buildings to be blurred out for national security reasons or something along those lines. In fact, while we're talking about this entry on the iceberg, military bases, is probably just referring to how they're blurred out a lot of the time on Google Maps. So, for example, this airbase in Spain has its runways blurred out, and this airbase in France is just so low resolution you can't even really tell what's going on with it. Face in the clay. This entry on the iceberg is probably just referring to this thing in Alberta, Canada, known as the Badlands Guardian. It's this natural formation in the rock and clay there that from up above, it looks like a face. North Korea. This entry, of course, is probably
Just North Korea.
just how North Korea has very limited Google Maps data. There is little to no information on the businesses in North Korea. There is little to no street view data. And the few photospheres that you can access within North Korea that I'd imagine were put there by tourists give off such an eerie and isolated vibe. Roma's cat. So there's this place in Rome, Italy called Largo de Torre Argentina, and at this point it's basically this cat sanctuary type thing. Initially this spot was built as more of like a historical Roman monument, but then a bunch of cats started moving in, and now it's kind of just this cat sanctuary. For a while on Google Maps there was a photosphere there that when you viewed it you could just see this buffaloes. I'd imagine this is just referring to like buffaloes you can see on Google Maps. Two-legged cat. This entry is referring to this picture of a two-legged cat. This picture's been around for a while now, and it's kind
It's a
of
meme, yeah.
I guess a lot of people were under the impression that this picture is from Google Maps, like it was a picture of a cat ripped off of Google Street View, and it looks like that because of like some glitch or something. But it's actually just not. It's actually just a Photoshop picture of a cat. Fuck you, roof. So there's this house in Mississippi that just says "fuck you" on the roof. There's not really a whole lot going on here. Pigeon people. So this is referring to this walking path in the Tokyo, Japan area where if you follow this walking path for a while, you'll just stumble across a bunch of pigeon people. If I had to make a guess as to what's going on here, there's this Musashino Art University pretty close by. So maybe some art students were just out doing some art stuff. Man falling downstairs. This next entry takes us to Hoboken, New Jersey, where if you look to your left, oh yeah, they blurred it out. But back before they blurred it out, you used to be able to catch this guy just absolutely shitting himself on these stairs. I like this one a lot. Flying rabbit. So there's this road in Poland.
Oh, yeah.
You'll come up to this rabbit and it kind of just looks like it gets up and flies away. It's pretty cool. It's pretty funny. What's probably going on here is this rabbit is getting hit by the Google car. It's kind of crazy too.
Oh, damn.
Big rabbit. So
That's
in
missed.
Italy, there's this mountain called Fleto Fava Mountain, and this art group by the name of Gelatin decided just to put a giant stuffed pink rabbit on top of it. People could drive to it and climb around on it and stuff. From Google Maps,
Oh, nice.
it's pretty menacing. It was put there in 2005, and it was supposed to last quite a while, but it started rotting and decomposing really fast, and by 2016, it was pretty much just gone. Nowadays, if you try and visit this rabbit, you won't find it, but you will still find the outline that it left behind. Mars and Moon. Very similarly to Google Earth, Google also has Google Mars and Google Moon whales. I'd imagine this is just referring to sometimes how you can spot whales on Google Maps. Here's a couple you can see off the coast of Hawaii. Dick Church in the great state of Illinois. In the city of Dixon lies the Christian Science Society of Dixon. It doesn't look like a penis. Rainbow plane. Sometimes when low-flying planes are caught on Google Maps, they have this kind of rainbow effect to them. It seems like the reason this happens is because the satellite cameras are capturing red, blue, and green at slightly different times. And so since the plane is moving super fast, it's giving the colors kind of like a warped effect. Google's car pulled over. So what this is probably referring to is if you go into Street View and come into this town called Golly in West Virginia, as you're coming through this town, you can see this police car pop out. He follows you for a while. You can see him turn on his lights and then just pull you over. It's hard to tell why this happened, if Google's car was speeding or maybe the police officer, he thought maybe the camera on top of the Google car was like a hazard or something. The murder dock. So in Amsterdam, there's this park called Beatrice
He just
Park,
messed up
and at
his work.
Park, there's a dock. And for a while on Google Maps, if you were to check out this dock, this is what you would see. It kind of looks like someone was murdered, left bleeding, and then drug out on a
Oh.
That's not what most people think is going on here, though. Most likely what happened here is some guy had a wet dog, and the wet dog went out onto the dock and dripped all over it, and just the poor satellite quality made this water on the dock look like blood. Masquerade people. I think this entry
Must be redwood.
to say masked people, and this is some sort of typo. It's probably referring to these masked guys you can find just standing around on this road while you're going through Mexico. There's no information on this. It's just weird masked people standing out in the middle of Mexico. Kidnapper House. The Ariel Castro kidnappings were a series of kidnappings that took place between 2002 and 2004, where a man by the name of Ariel Castro abducted 3 girls and held them captive in his house. These girls were constantly abused and tortured, and Michelle Knight, who was abducted in 2002, didn't escape until 2013, so that's like over 10 years. It's an incredibly messed up story, and this entry on the Iceberg Kidnapper House is referring to how the house that this all took place in is now blurred out on Google Maps. Creature on the Balcony. Located in France, there's a city called Nancy, and there's this neighborhood that just has an inexplicably blurred out house on Street View. Doesn't really make any sense until you go back in time and see what used to be here. Before Google blurred all of this out, you used to be able to see this balcony with this kind of strange alien looking creature type thing. Now honestly, this thing on the balcony doesn't even look that
Roger.
It totally looks like it could be a mannequin or some sort of Halloween decoration.
Sounds like a
In fact,
tiki.
some people on Reddit were looking into this, and people were able to find statues that are very similar to this one. What was more weird about it though is how Google approached blurring it out. Because for a long time, you could just come to this spot on Street View and just see it in its entirety, and then that's it. But then a while back, Google decided to just blur out the weird creature on the balcony. Not everything, not the entire balcony, balcony, but just the creature on the balcony itself, nothing else. And
This is
then
weird.
A little bit after that, they did go ahead and then blur out more of the balcony, and now just the entire house is blurred out. It wasn't weird until Google started making it weird, you know?
Google's
Lady of the
funny.
North. This entry is just referring to this giant land sculpture
Oh,
in the
shit.
UK that's often referred to as the Lady of the North. Giant crab. So this entry in the iceberg is referring to this image that's been floating around the internet for a while.
See
It shows
it.
what looks to be a giant crab off of this harbor. It's a nice picture.
It's
The
huge.
original picture is actually taken from Bing Maps, not Google Maps. You can tell this is exactly where they got it from because all the patterns in the sand are exactly the same, and all
That's
the boats and
huge.
docks are at the exact same place. It's a nice picture.
Mr.
Swastika
Krabs.
building. So in San Diego, California, there's a naval base, and from up above, one of the buildings on this naval base looks like this. How this building managed to happen is pretty odd, especially considering it was built in the 1960s.
Come on.
I'm not really sure how the architect could have missed out on this. I've seen people say that this building was built this way for lighting or air conditioning reasons, but the 1960s had fairly good lighting and air conditioning solutions. At the time, there must have just been the assumption that no one was ever going to get an aerial view of the building. For a while, people were getting kind of mad at the Navy for having this building, and according to a Time magazine
We'll try
article
patties.
from 2007, the
So that's
Navy
what it
said
tastes
that
like.
they were going to invest money into this building to make it not look like a swastika anymore, but that was 15 years ago, and the building still definitely looks like a swastika. Angel. In Switzerland for a while,
I don't mind.
there was this road near St. Gallen where you could see what kind of looked like an angel in the sky. Some people also think it looks like a devil and an angel standing next to each other. If you try and visit this spot on Google Maps now, though, it's gone. Google must have removed and replaced this street view data. Red Sea. So at first I thought this entry was just referring to the Red Sea, but as far as I can tell, nothing Red Sea related is particularly notable on Google Maps. What it could be referring to is this red lake you can find in Baghdad, Iraq. No one on the internet seems to be 100% certain why this lake is red, but I've seen people speculate that it could be some sort of algae in the water or it's from sewage. Another idea though is this Times Magazine article says one tipster told the tech blog Boing Boing that he was told by a friend that slaughterhouses in Iraq sometimes dump blood into canals. So that's something to think about.
Ugh.
Most likely what's going on here is some sort of algae is making the water red. An algae known as Dunalea
True.
salina has the ability to turn water a reddish pinkish color. So there's a pretty good chance that's what's going on here. Ghost Girl. But before we get into that, I'm happy to announce that today's video is
For a
sponsored by
sandwich?
Honey Gain. Have you ever wanted to make a little extra money? You know, have a side hustle? Well then Honey Gain is the app for you. You're not going to be making money hand over fist or installing the app like cemetery and tech, or click the link in the description. Ghost Girl. This entry is referring to how at a cemetery in Texas, there used to be a photosphere, and if you were to look to your right at one of the trees, you could spot a girl peeking out.
Oh my
around it.
goodness.
Also, some people see this floaty thing in the background and think it's a ghost or something. A couple people have claimed to have made this photosphere and have just said that it was their daughter who was hiding behind a tree.
Oh.
It's a little bit off-putting once you see it.
It's kinda
This
pale, though.
photosphere has since been removed from this cemetery, so that could be a
Honey
little
Gain.
spooky. Man pointing gun to the camera. So this is probably referring to this thing in Detroit. There's this house in Detroit.
Napkin
that's
grinding
blurred
Honey
out.
Gain.
Before it was blurred out, there was a bunch of people standing on the porch with one of the people pointing a gun at the camera. Dog chasing car. So if you go to this island right here in Japan and go through this spot, this dog will start chasing you. Not really much to it. It's pretty cool. Kazakhstan pentagram. This next entry takes us to Kazakhstan, where there's a giant pentagram etched into the ground. Why
Oh,
there's a
shit.
pentagram etched into this northern area of Kazakhstan is very weird. You know, there's many theories out there for what this is about. Of
Damn.
course, some people think this is the work of a satanic
Spawn.
cult living out in Kazakhstan. I've even seen some people say that this is a defunct surface-to-air missile site and is shaped like a pentagram to help with some sort of radar tracking system. These are all very fun ideas. An NBC article from 2014 did an interview with a geologist who lives in
POV
this
picture
area,
day.
and apparently it's an outline of a park made in the form of a star. The article then goes on to say that the star was a popular symbol during the Soviet era. Kazakhstan was part of the former Soviet Union until its dissolution in 1991. So I guess it's a park that was made to look like a star, but since it looks like a star, it also simultaneously looks like a pentagram. Sounds like a good cover-up for a surface-to-air missile site. Sudan lips. This entry is just referring to this geological formation out in Sudan that kind of looks like some lips. Lost baby. So once again, there's this image that has kind of been around the internet for a while. There's this picture of this baby just alone by itself standing out in front of a Gucci store, and this picture presumably was taken on Google Maps. I've checked every Gucci store on the planet, I think, looking for this baby. Maybe Google has removed it. Maybe this image isn't even real. I could not actually find this on Google Maps though. If you find this on Google Maps and it exists, put a link in the comments. I'll definitely pin it. Donkey killed by Google's car. Donkey killed by Google's car is referring to if you go to this road in Botswana, you can come up onto this donkey and it kind of looks like you hit it with your car. This has been here for a while and people were accusing Google of actually hitting a donkey with their Google Street car. So in 2013, Google actually ended up making an official statement where they showed extra pictures of this donkey event, and it turns out they didn't actually hit the donkey. Donkey kind of just happened to roll over at a very specific time. Ice ship. This entry is likely referring to what looks like a
That's what
frozen
to
ship
say.
on an island off of Antarctica. Google Maps will measure it to be over 400 feet long. The ship doesn't seem to match up with any known missing vessels, but maybe it's some person's private yacht that went undocumented, or maybe the government lost a ship and decided to keep it classified or something. Even the website Snopes, a website that is dedicated to debunking conspiracy theories and false information, doesn't really have a great explanation for this.
I don't know.
It could be made that it's just some sort of ice formation, but also it's 400 feet long and looks like a ship. Blonde tourist legs. Once again,
Yeah.
one of those pictures that have been around for a while. It's a
Ugh.
picture of this blonde tourist.
I've seen
walking
this.
through the Chichen Itza ruins. Somehow when this picture is being taken, something must have happened that make her knees look backwards. Since this screenshot was taken, Google must have updated the data around these ruins because you
It's like
can't
a
see
horse.
this girl anymore. Axe murder. So coming down one of these streets in Longton, England, there's a bunch of blurred out people on the side of this road. Luckily, people were able to get screenshots of this before it got blurred out. It looks like the scene of a murder, an axe murder, because they have axes. A couple different news outlets reported on this, and in
What
case
the
you're
fuck?
wondering, it's not real. These guys are just playing a bit. Ghost Man. So this entry is very open-ended. There are many different examples of people seeing things on Google Maps that they think look like ghosts. Some examples being this guy on this beach in Australia that's kind of just phasing out of reality. And in New York, there's a street with a bunch of ghost people and ghost cars on it. Oak Bay Snake. So there's this supposed screenshot of Oak Bay in New Zealand taken from Google Maps. In this picture, you can see what kind of looks to be a giant snake moving through the water. According to the Daily Mail, in 2014, an engineer by the name of Peter Watira took this screenshot of Google Maps after he noticed the strange wake in the water. It's kind of strange because typically boats won't leave behind this kind of wake. They tend to leave behind some white froth, and it's usually in an overall different shape. This has led some people to speculate that it was a giant sea snake or sea monster. I've even seen some people think that it could have been a giant oarfish. It's very interesting, although also it is very possible for a smaller, faster watercraft to leave behind a wave like this. Broken face. This entry is referring to a picture that was taken off of Google Maps of a broken face statue or something. You can find it in a Dutch city known as The Hague. It's part of an art museum out there. Escaped prisoner. So in South Africa, near the city of Johannesburg, you can find this guy in full orange just walking down this really isolated street, and it kind of looks like this person could be an escaped prisoner. I really wish Google Maps captured a prisoner escaping, but the odds are it's not. There are really no prisons near this area, and if you go down the road, you can actually catch this guy again hanging out with some other people in front of their house. Not to mention his orange suit clearly says CWF, and there's no prisons that match up with this acronym. The only place that seems to match up with CWF is this engineering place nearby. So maybe this guy just happened to be wearing his engineering work clothes one day and they kind of look like prisoner stuff. Van on fire. In Toronto, Canada, you can look at this flaming van parked out in front of someone's house. And you can also check out this burning van in Brazil. Plane in the forest. So there are a couple different examples of planes on Google Maps you can find that are just in forests. They seem very out of place, but most of the time they're just decommissioned passenger planes that have been bought by private owners to be used as display pieces. There are more interesting specific cases of people finding planes on Google Maps, and we'll be talking about one later down on the iceberg. Gas mask guy. This one could be talking about one of two things.
Wish I knew what that
It could
means.
be referring to this picture of a guy in a gas mask crouched off to the side of the road. Once again, this picture was supposedly taken off of Google Maps. I couldn't find specifically where on Google Maps this is at, but I'd imagine it's real. Alternatively, though, what this could be referring to is this photosphere you can access near the Chernobyl disaster site in
TF2?
Ukraine, where you can view just
Pyro.
a huge pile of gas masks surrounding this chair.
This one's
with a
cool?
doll sitting on it with a gas mask.
Oh,
on.
shit.
It's a little bit unsettling. spelling, you know. Zura Bibajan. So if you come to this neighborhood in Worcester, England, you can see this blurred out thing next to a car, and for some reason Google Street View won't let you get up next to it. Street View just is like pushing you past this blurred spot. Well, luckily people did get screenshots of what was going on here before Google decided to blur it out. There was what looked like a dead person on the side of the road.
Shit.
That's what a lot of people thought for a while, but of course it's this girl by the name of Azura Bibajan, and according to this Daily Mail article, they interviewed this girl and she was just playing dead for fun, and now it looks like she's dead on the side of the road. Body found 22 years later. So the story goes, a man by the name of William Molt went missing in 1997. He was out at a nightclub at night, and the last heard of him, he was calling his girlfriend from the nightclub to say that he was driving back to their home in Wellington, Florida. He never made it home that night. He just disappeared. There's an investigation into his disappearance, but no one could find him. No one was sure what happened to him. That was until 22 years later, when in 2019, a submerged car was spotted on Google Maps at a pond where William Molt used to live. Shortly after this car was spotted, they pulled this car out of this lake, and William Molt's skeleton was still inside. He crashed his car into the lake and then suffocated, and then he wasn't found until 22 years later.
What the fuck?
In 2009, a 14-year-old boy by the name of Jose Barrera was murdered in Richmond, California. There's this high-crime residential area in Richmond, California that's sometimes called the Iron Triangle, and this was where he was murdered at. The reason this is on this iceberg is because Google Maps satellites managed to capture Jose Barrera's body being left by some train tracks. Of course, if you try and check this spot on Google Maps now, it's been updated and you can't find his body there anymore. Google received complaints from Jose Barrera's family. They wanted it to get removed, and it since has been. It was pretty ridiculous though, because you could see Jose Barrera laying there, and the picture captures the very moment that police officers pull up to the scene. Children with guns. There are a couple different examples of children on Google Maps holding guns. An example being, at this neighborhood in Chicago, you can see this. Based on the way people around him are reacting, it doesn't look like it's a real gun, but who knows. Another example you can find is a suburban area in South Africa where you can come up to these kids walking and one of them looks to be holding a gun. Is it a real gun? Probably not, but it's
Probably can like this.
Injury cow. So there's this picture of a cow limping across the highway with an injury. As far as I can tell, there is no information on the internet where this actually took place at on Google Maps. 41 Marmol. Kind of just outside of Mexico City, there's a street called 41 Marmol, and if you look up at one of the houses, it looks like there's a guy hanging from the roof. When this was first discovered, a lot of people actually reported it to law enforcement, but it's actually just a puppet. The people living at this house have gone on record saying that it's a prank. New Baltimore ghost town. There's a town in the state of New York called New Baltimore, and prior to Google updating the data in 2016,
just a prank,
the
bro.
Street View just had this weird ghostly effect to it. Everything was warped and there was a grainy effect on everything. New Baltimore is a small town in the state of New York with a population not much more than 3,000. As I've stated earlier, this phenomenon has been patched out of Google Maps, but there never really was much of an explanation for it. Malaysian plane. So earlier we talked about people finding planes on Google Maps, but this is one of the more interesting cases. So if you didn't already know, in March of 2014, Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 went missing on a flight from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. There were 227 passengers on board and 12 crew members, and till this day, no one really knows for sure what happened to this airplane. They're not sure if it was hijacked, some sort of mechanical malfunction. They just lost communication with the flight, and it disappeared along with everyone on board. They never found the black box. Well, in 2018, an unidentified plane was found in this Cambodian jungle on Google Maps, and a number of people theorized that this could be Malaysian Airlines Flight 370. Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 was a Boeing 777, and this plane that's in this jungle seems to be a very similar length to that of a Boeing 777. Additionally, reports by the Malaysian Transport Ministry show that prior to losing contact with the plane, it was recorded to be in Cambodian airspace. The most common belief is that Malaysian Flight 370 on its way to Beijing somehow turned around and ended up crashing in the Indian Ocean, but the exact location of its crash site is still not confirmed at all. So some people think that this might be Malaysian Airlines Flight 370. Probably the biggest problem with this theory is that debris from the plane has reportedly been found in Tanzania and other places in Africa, which kind of puts a damper on this theory because if the plane landed in this forest in Cambodia, there's really no way debris would have gotten into the water and then washed across the Indian Ocean and then onto the coast of Africa. But I guess some people have a conspiracy against the Malaysian government and they think that they planted debris in Tanzania to kind of close the case. The Malaysian government didn't want to admit that they couldn't find the plane, so they ended up planting debris in Tanzania. Even if this plane isn't Malaysian Airlines Flight 370, it's still a really weird thing. There's not really any reason that this should be out in the middle of this jungle. Not any reasons that I could really find, at least. The guy who originally found this on Google Maps is a man by the name of Ian Wilson. Apparently, he's actually tried to go on a trek out into the Cambodian jungle to get to this airplane and try and do an analysis on it and see where it's from and why it's there. But I guess on this trek he went on, it got so dangerous that he had to turn back. He says he's trying to go on another expedition out to this plane. So until anyone gets out there, we really have no idea what's going on with this plane. End of the world sign. This entry is referring to this highway road in the Mojave Desert. This highway just comes to an end in the middle of nowhere, and there's a sign that just says end. It's pretty odd, and screenshots of how it used to look are even more odd. Google has removed the street view data for when it looked like this, so you can't see this anymore. Now it just looks like this. Dogman. I'd say this is probably referring to one of two things. This could be referring to this Daily Star article from 2019.
They closed the broken down plane.
On a Reddit post that was made. I think this Reddit post has since been deleted because I cannot find it. On this Reddit post that was apparently posted on r/cryptids, a guy by the name of The Lone Hunter attached a video of him on Google Street View, and he seemingly spots a dogman in the woods. This right here is what he thinks is the dogman, I think. There might be something there, but it kind of also just looks like a bunch of shadows. It looks pretty normal. On Google Maps, I was able to find the street that this picture was taken from, but I can't find the exact angle or spot where you can see the dogman thing. There's also the possibility that this entry is just not referring to this at all, too. This entry might not be actually referring to a dog man, but instead it's referring to one of the many different funny dog and man related things on Google Maps. A lake in an island in a lake in an island. There's a couple different places where you can see something like this, but probably the best one is in the Philippines. You can find this island in a lake on an island in a lake on an island.
Yeah.
Jumps in Google's car. This entry kind of left me with the impression that there was going to be some story out there of someone breaking into a Google Street View car, although it doesn't really seem like anything like this has happened or at least been documented. This could be referring to this thing in Poland where you can see a guy on the Google Street View car. I know jumping on a car and in a car are different, but this is the closest thing to this entry that I think I can find. R. Pref Oscar Cuna. Basically, in the Brazilian state of Florianopolis, there's a section of streets that had some really weird properties for a while. For a while, if you were to move in certain ways and do specific things in this area, you would be able to go into this black, dark void thing, and you could move around in it a little bit, and you could look at these weird shapes and figures in the darkness. It's interesting because there's almost like an out-of-bounds glitch on Google Maps. It doesn't seem like you can perform this glitch anymore, and it seems like this area of Florianopolis has mostly been fixed. I've tried following all the
For the music, really?
videos that show how to do this, and it doesn't seem to work anymore. I'd imagine as Google Street View has been updated and more street data has been compiled, glitch just doesn't work anymore because there's a bigger pool of street data to pull from. It's also completely possible that Google just went in and fixed this glitch thing. This
It's weird.
Florianopolis, though, still isn't perfect. There are these weird glitchy kind of effects that will come over Street View if you stand in
Google
certain
Maps.
spots. And the more you look at that weird demonic shaped thing in the void, the more unsettling it gets.
Dude,
So yeah, that was the Google Maps iceberg.
calm
It
down.
was pretty alright, I guess. You know, if you like what you saw, you can subscribe, please. I'll love you forever if you do. Also, link in
I want your love.
the description for the new Discord server. It's actually been around for quite a while now, but this is the first time I'm shouting it out.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. My guy got into the shower room. Exactly. So much icebergs. Gen Z childhood trauma. So what, now what? I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe play a game? Or maybe just... I don't know. Wow, whole community? Oh my goodness. I like the whole concept of icebergs though. I don't mind it. So I just want to relax really. I'm not feeling it right now, guys. I'm just relaxing. I didn't do much on Christmas, honestly. Wish I did more. I gotta work on videos for YouTube. And I gotta do my license for driving. So much things to do, guys. I'm just tired. Well, let's just relax. Okay. Yeah, I like the Gag channel, but this one Gmod iceberg video, but a lot of them are kind of trash or forced now. I gotcha. Now it's icebergs. I guess icebergs is like a tier list of like how deep it gets. Well, you don't look at the news. What the hell? If I got tapeworm, shut the fuck up. Who else kisses the homies goodnight? Sort of cringe, if not bad. So kissing the homies goodnight is cringe now, huh? Well, half and half. We don't kiss the homies because of COVID. Get better immune system. Oh my goodness. What a... Okay. Alright. Let's just... Look. I don't know what to do, guys. You guys want to relax on like a game or something? We play for some Roblox? Memes? Sure. What kind of music I have? What's up, y'all? Hey, Nachos. Minecraft? Sure. If you're not to play. So like, you know, if you do the SMP server in Minecraft, we can definitely do that then. Yeah. Hell yeah. Much love, guys. Sure, let's just give it a try. It's been a few months since I've been here, man. What did I miss? I just played some games. Everything should be on YouTube. I'll make them in the videos, and you'll catch up at no time. Whatever you want, I'm fine with. All right. Minecraft it is. Memes? You didn't say any. Unless you want like look up memes. What if we build Christmas house in my MC? Whoever has my... So actually, let me get some energy back, actually. Since you want to stay longer. Oh, that hit the spot. Okay. I see it.
Doggo wants you to like.
Oh my goodness. I can already see it. The fuck? Wait, what? There we go. Jeez. Okay. Got it. Okay. Where's chat? I have no friends who have a golden account and they don't want me to meet me a new role, and this is the way it goes. That's what happens when I spam the middle button. Oh, brother.
Doggo wants you to like the video and subscribe right now.
Fuck you.
Bootleg Hulk. The amazing bulk.
Bulk.
Oh, yes. Fashion 2.
Oh my freaking goodness.
Mario does it all. Mario's carpet cleaning. My cousin Sam's on phone.
Zong.
7 Evelyn. Owner's name is Evelyn.
Well, bro.
Is that you, bro? Cute little Joker stuffed toy with one amazing brand tag. Will Smith, Tom Holland, Rashida Jones, Karen Gillan, DJ Khaled. My knockoff Sesame Street skirt I bought at a market in Singapore.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
A local car dealership. How they haven't been sued is far beyond me. Shrek's motor. Why choose one when you can have both? Enki. Adiabs. This thing
Still
near my uncle's house. Dog Mac Ronalds.
What?
This moving company based in Lisbon. Why? Fast and serious. Thomas the Tender Engine. The little blue engine that wanted a drink. The Xbox One S with PlayStation controllers that plays old Nintendo games. SpongeBob Oval Pants. I wanna hear this theme song. Who are you going to telephone? Ghostbuster. Everyone, meet Dino and Martin. Ah yes, Cosmonaut, my favorite Mac brand. The design still haunts me. My OC Macaques and friends. My dad bought these two and thought they were Kit Kat and Nutella. A Nutella. Cat Cat. No mayo please. Pizza Hut Pizzeria. I'll pass.
That was an actual
Sweet
pub.
pot. Well, this is what I found in front of a grocery store. Buzz Bunny, mini vibrator. Why would one even make the head like that? People who play with fake Legos. Oh what the frick. Great Drift Auto 5. GTA 4. Everything about this is wrong. P. Peter. This DVD I found in Amsterdam 8 years ago. Science fiction series. Planet Decisive Battle. Deformation of the armor. This amazing movie. Ratatouille J. Thomas the Monster.
Saw that before. Ugh.
These batteries from my son's toy. Day. Extra super. When Mickey and Minnie is on LSD. Why does this ad exist? Clay Phineas and Ferb. Philip and Fred. My new running shoes. Mike. Worst pound shop game rip-off I've seen. Should be banned. Laden vs USA. Air Jared's.
Jared's.
There are too many rip-offs on the App Store. Krabs, Sponge's neighbor. I'm Deficiency Man.
Yikes. What the
Ah yes, Monster. They didn't even change the font. Caco. Talking Jerry and Tom Mouse friends. A rib-tickling rivalry. Ah yes, my favorite soda brands. Dr. Dazzle. Mountain Frost. Didn't know Subway Surfers expanded to the rice market. Pandan Rice. If you like Minecraft and GTA 5, then this is a game for you. Craft Auto for Minecraft PE. I'm not sure if this is crappy or genius. Sandwich Hub. Sandwich that will make you come.
same? Fuck.
Another seems legit. Game Child. Winnie. It's not slime. It's interesting mud. Someone is an anti-sim. Stevenson. Hey Talcor, there is a company called Kinda copying your stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Leaked image of Mario Kart 9. This off-brand PSP. Found this at a city somewhere in Texas. The fake McDonald's in a basement in Guillaume Armeniar is not at all ominous. Gary the Dinosaur. This fake Lego. LebQ. World minifigures. Collect them all. Third series. Le Baldwin. It is what it is. Ah yes. Kingston Family. From the owners.
Free online game?
Ah yes. Kingston Family. From the owners of the SpongeBob coloring book. Ah yes, Sonic likes pickles now. Happy Man Racing is my favorite game. Fatal obstacles, realistic physics. The terrible font makes it worse. Mario Bros. Mexican restaurant. Something looks off, but I can't quite tell what it is.
Yeah.
I'm a 4 parallel universes ahead of you. Hi Kitty, Family KTV. The holy trio of cereal ripoffs. Kids Crunch. Marshmallows and Stars. Crispy Oats.
They didn't even
Ice
try.
cream. Genius in general. Ah
Oh,
yes, you
no.
duo. The Panda Warrior. The Adventures of the Panda Warrior. Ha ha funny sponge. Scary scream neighbor Spongeonite. KFC's lawsuit was pretty fast and they got a rebrand, but it was worth it. KFS. Hum so good. Hot dog Knowles.
Donald's?
Marvel Batman. Ah yes, Elmo and Cookie Monster. This preschool.
What?
I didn't know that Vault Boy ran a coffee shop. My parents won't even let me have this. Me, Mom, can I have an Xbox? Mom, but we have Xbox.
I just got that face. It's so stupid. What happened? Why'd you tell me to wait? Okay.
At home. Xbox at home. X Game 360. The Minions recently hit hard times.
Why does it have a gun?
Defective Pikachu. About half a year ago, one of my friends came to school in this beauty, a dealer's.
A
It's the
dealer's?
type grocery store you bring me to. The frick. I hate it here. Take it. Wow.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Totally thought it was butter. Dr. Bob. Mountain shouting. Cream betweens. And burger partner.
Duh.
The coach.
Wow.
Fake PS Vita I saw while online shopping. So I made a comparison between the real
okay,
and
Andrew.
fake one for you. Real. Fake. A PC game I found at real. Flappy Bird HD. It's a me, Cario. Super Cario World. Then
Cario?
the adventure begins.
That's stupid.
Brazilian knockoff Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. Corn sugar.
Corn
My
sugar?
son said that it's because
The
Black Widow is disguising herself as Robin. Mobile Mario. The famous soy.
They're not even
reference.
trying.
Yes, it sounds as bad as you think. Looks like Fred's dad took a trip to Long Chernobyl. I'll take a foot-long pre-roll, please. Budway. Sand Wellness Store.
What
Ah,
way?
yes, Starfrix. Ah
Starfrix?
yes, my favorite.
No
Duke
shot.
Theft Wars.
That's. Oh my
The
goodness.
quadruple attack, found on Google Images. Hermione Grinder. Where's a stripey dude? Men out of space costume. Wizard boy.
So stupid.
Can't wait to play the legendary PCP. This absolute beauty.
Friggin' mouth.
You wanna come over and play Robo Planet Adventure Craft? Robocraft.
What?
Planetcraft. Adventure Craft.
Oh my
I really
goodness.
don't know what to think about this.
Yeesh.
FCS Chicken Lego Set. The Amazings.
The amazing.
So yeah, you knew. Found this
You
one while
knew.
browsing the web. Pizza shop.
Same brand.
Oh no Pikachu. Mr. Ryan Jet. Fast runner man hero. I'm hero. Maintain world peace. Fight for justice. Space wars. I have no words. Ah yes, Bonetail.
He's black. Bonetail?
Look at my totally real amazing Apple headphones when they partnered with Sony back in the 80s. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Star Wars.
I remember reading those books. Justice Magician.
Justice
A
Magician?
friend sent me this from a Chinese store. Glavin Kelvin.
And
I wanna
Kelvin.
be the very best. Pokemon. The most popular gift from a child.
What is an axe?
My new favorite Simpsons characters. Are you stalking my Instagram? Fonto.
Fonto?
This shirt in Hong Kong that only leaves me with more questions. Calvin. I think that my design philosophy will continue to foot 10 Gisthetic 10 Dilex Epoch Pirital Dwellways King of Jotlet Triha 2 Beat Sesh Rexy Elugdino Slad I was unified style and
Why?
you submerged my fighting vessel. Sea battle. Real clever sobies. Ritz. Jazz.
Check.
Cool baby classic. When Girl Scout cookies just won't do. Thick mints. I can really go for thin wheats. Wheat thins. Thin wheats. You've heard of ESO. Now get ready for store. Roblox is a VPN confirmed.
That's so VPN. Oh no.
Who's the ginger kid though? Body balance. Every Roblox game is just a copy and paste. Piggy. George.
George?
Through old photos and found this from 2012. Taken in either Switzerland or Italy. Sponge Bunny. Minecraft 2. Play Minecraft 2 free. I found SpongeBob and Patrick's love child at a mall a while ago. The guy next to Man of Iron has seen some shiz. Superman. The Earth Protector. SpongeBob's new job after Ovid shut down Krusty Krab. Scrubber's car wash. Parbuckling. Writing a sunken vessel using rotational leverage. Parbuckle's coffee.
Alright, good night.
Who needs GTA when you
On
can
after this then.
find Gangster Miami City auto theft. About this game. Open
What?
world gangster game.
What?
Suit. Extra suit. It's a me, Dynamax.
Oh yeah, I remember the
Spider
place.
Camel. Found at a local Ace Hardware.
Oh my god, what?
Lead boss.
Stop fucking up Pikachu.
Welcome to Campsie, Sydney. Great Mart. Plane. Pretty sure that's a truck. Peppa Pug. Spokeswoman Faunchi. Yes, my favorite game. Geometry Rash Challenge. Toy Story 5 leak. The
Leaks
Pokemon
both.
on eBay.
Christmas
Clean
Eve.
Mr. Cigar. Where have I seen this before? Plants vs. Goblins. About this game, goblins are attacking your house. Mind game. This masterpiece in my town. They don't have the secret formula I asked. Krusty Krab. Oh yes, HDMI dongle. A mix of Google Chrome and Google search colors.
Dongle.
Doctor has a PhD in MD. Ah yes, a baby rabbit. Guardian. Elder Guardian. Baby rabbit. With a big magna cube. Guest. New people waiting for you to collect together. Deluxe line. Super plumber green. Found this today. Sue and Seth. Uzbekistan 2016. Fancy Pelsin. Your real name versus the one the FBI gave you in protected custody. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. Mystical Eraser. There's a snake in my snake. Who wants to play? Mo Money. You know.
More money.
Blue Speed Mouse. My childhood hero. Very legit toy.
The freaking
Toy
mouse is so
Story
small.
Toy 5. Ah yes, the classic. Microsoft Office. Professional Plus 2010 final. No activation required. I decided to save $1 by getting the fake grape nuts. Nutty nuggets. It truly is the best. Don't fall down. OMG, a famous car. Just look at it. Super Run Jungle Adventure.
Oh my
Ah
goodness.
yes, I do remember how Batman almost defeated Thanos and almost saved the universe. It's not November, so it's okay. Nut Master. Kidney potatoes. This is better than Star Wars. Planet Fighters. Laser Sword. Why? Last call of Modern Warfare duty.
What the fuck?
Doesn't everyone use WhatsApp to make bread? I'm gonna hee hee kids, oh giggity giggity good. Plastic man. Found this guy at a Filipino water park. Squidward, are you and your son okay? This TikTok phase has gone too far. Everyone is here. Ah yes, my world. I'd rather play with my own wee wee. I present you this. You know, from Cave Make, green pixel robot monster child costume. This test truck. Poor people. Harbor Psychic. iPhone in 1999. This sheet that I found in the hotel. Tom Jerry, lucky to you. This cyborg Lego figure I found at my local dollars and cents. Combo. Display. The
My
Little
goodness, some toes though.
The Forgotten Mario sequel, Super Bros 4. Found this in my local convenience store. Spider-Person. Lara Croft Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life. At least they didn't call him Zelda. Woodland Warrior. Wait, Woody was a Transformer. Boy deformation. I'm the only one who thinks this would be a good crossover. What the hell is this? This is the perfect form of art. Weeknights at Teddy's. Friendly neighborhood thread up man at my local European toy store. Look what I found. Baking bread. Patrician or Matrion. I don't know, but I want one. I'm not Groot. Tree man rings, tree man figure, jewelry, sterling silver rings for women.
Wow.
Super Ren Game Bros. Eat McDonough.
Dunner?
Me. Can we go
They
watch
have-
Fast and Furious? We have Fast and Furious at home. Fast and Furious at home. Fast and Fierce. Death Race. MFC. My favorite chicken. Lip licking flavor.
Flavored
You've
chicken?
seen it before. Here is a sequel. That. Like the video and subscribe right now. And watch my previous tank memes videos.
Wow. Okay. Dog is happy now. Well, that was actually pretty funny. That was actually very funny. I think I have. Alright, I'm tired too. Thank you so much for being here. This was fun. Thank you guys so much for being here. Happy and Merry Christmas. Today is Christmas for me now. You guys have a good rest, okay? I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Peace. Ho ho ho.